For decades, the walls of Balmoral Castle have witnessed some of the most defining moments in royal history. Joy, sorrow, triumph, and heartbreak have all unfolded behind its stone walls. But according to reports that have sparked intense speculation, another deeply emotional chapter may have just been added to that long history. This time, however, the story isn't centered on a public appearance or a carefully planned royal engagement. Instead, it revolves around a single sealed letter, one that allegedly arrived in complete secrecy and carried words powerful enough to leave King Charles visibly shaken. While Buckingham Palace has made no official statement confirming such claims, royal watchers have been analyzing every recent development, wondering whether tensions inside the family have quietly reached a breaking point. Could Prince William have finally decided that certain conversations could no longer wait? And if so, what exactly did he write? Let's take a closer look at the reports, the speculation, and why this rumored letter has captured worldwide attention. According to palace insiders cited by several royal commentators, the king had been spending private time at Balmoral, hoping for a period of rest away from the constant pressure surrounding the monarchy. Balmoral has always represented something different for the royal family. It is one of the few places where official duties often take a back seat to personal reflection. Staff members reportedly noticed that Charles appeared calmer than he had been in weeks. That sense of calm, however, may not have lasted long. Reports claim that a courier arrived carrying correspondence marked for the king's eyes only. Unlike ordinary palace documents, this envelope reportedly bypassed several routine administrative channels before finally reaching Charles personally. What happened next has become the center of growing speculation. Sources allege that after reading only a portion of the letter, the king became visibly emotional. Some accounts even suggest he struggled to compose himself before requesting complete privacy. Although dramatic online rumors have exaggerated the situation with claims that he collapsed, no verified evidence has confirmed such descriptions. What appears more likely, if the reports are accurate, is that the emotional weight of the letter deeply affected him. That naturally raises one enormous question. What could Prince William possibly have written? Royal commentators believe the contents may not have involved politics, succession, or constitutional matters. Instead, many believe the letter addressed something much more personal. For years, William has carefully balanced public loyalty with private responsibility. He has rarely spoken openly about disagreements within the family. Whenever difficult situations emerged, he generally allowed official palace statements, or silence, to speak instead. But recent months have shown subtle changes. William has appeared increasingly confident in shaping the monarchy's future. He has taken on more leadership responsibilities. He has expanded his influence across charitable organizations. And many observers believe he has become far more willing to express his own vision for the institution. If the reported letter truly came from William, some analysts believe it may have represented the first completely candid communication between father and son in quite some time. Imagine receiving a letter that doesn't criticize, doesn't accuse, doesn't argue, but instead lays out difficult truths that have remained unspoken for years. Sometimes those are the hardest words to read. Several royal experts have long argued that William's greatest concern has never been personal popularity. His focus has consistently been preserving long-term public confidence in the monarchy. Every decision, every appearance, and every strategic move has reflected that priority. If he believed the institution faced serious internal challenges, it's entirely possible he would choose honesty over comfort. That possibility has fueled countless theories about the mysterious letter. Some speculate William urged his father to accelerate plans for the next generation of royal leadership. Others believe the letter focused on restoring family unity before it becomes impossible. Still others suggest it addressed health concerns, succession planning, or the enormous responsibilities awaiting future monarchs. None of those theories have been confirmed. Yet they continue spreading because each reflects conversations already taking place among royal observers. One palace historian recently noted that some of history's most important royal decisions were never announced during ceremonies. They began with private letters. Letters that changed relationships. Letters that altered succession plans. Letters that forced monarchs to confront realities they had hoped to postpone. Whether William's reported message belongs in that category remains unknown. But the symbolism is difficult to ignore. A handwritten letter carries a different emotional weight than a meeting. There are no interruptions, no advisors, no cameras, no carefully prepared talking points, just words. Permanent. Impossible to take back. Those closest to the monarchy have often described Charles as someone deeply affected by written correspondence. Throughout his life, he has preferred thoughtful letters over hurried conversations. Friends say he values reflection and often rereads important messages multiple times. If that's true, the alleged letter may have carried extraordinary emotional significance. Another detail drawing attention involves the timing. The correspondence reportedly arrived during a period when public discussion surrounding the monarchy's future has intensified considerably. Questions about modernization, public trust, financial transparency, and generational transition continue dominating conversations both inside Britain and internationally. William stands at the center of many of those discussions. Increasingly, he is viewed not simply as heir to the throne but as the architect of the monarchy's next chapter. That evolving role naturally changes conversations between father and son. No longer is William simply receiving guidance. He may now be offering it. That represents a profound shift within any royal family, especially one built upon centuries of carefully observed hierarchy. Imagine being a father who spent decades preparing for the crown, only to realize your own son has reached the stage where he must now prepare you for what comes next. Such moments are rarely easy, even outside royal life. One former royal correspondent observed that private honesty often becomes possible only when both generations recognize that history is moving faster than expected. Perhaps that explains why the rumored letter has resonated with so many people. It isn't simply about royalty. It's about family. It's about fathers and sons confronting difficult realities. It's about legacy. It's about deciding what kind of future will outlast the present. Meanwhile, palace officials have maintained their usual silence regarding the speculation. No statement has confirmed the existence of any extraordinary correspondence. No official spokesperson has addressed the circulating claims. That silence has only encouraged further discussion. Social media has become flooded with competing theories. Some insist the letter contained recommendations about future royal responsibilities. Others argue it may have focused entirely on Catherine, whose steady presence has increasingly reassured supporters of the monarchy. There are even suggestions that William emphasized the importance of protecting the next generation, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, from unnecessary public pressures. Again, none of these claims have been independently verified, but they reflect the broader public fascination with how the royal family balances tradition, duty, and personal relationships behind closed doors. As evening settled over Balmoral, observers claimed the atmosphere inside the estate had noticeably changed. Staff movements reportedly became quieter, scheduled conversations were delayed, and those close to the king suggested he wished to spend time alone before making any further decisions. Whether those reports are entirely accurate remains uncertain, but they have added another layer of mystery to an already compelling story. One thing is certain: if a deeply personal letter from Prince William truly reached King Charles at Balmoral, its significance would extend far beyond the words written on the page. It would represent a rare glimpse into one of the most important relationships shaping the future of the British monarchy, and perhaps the beginning of conversations that could influence the royal family's next chapter. The greatest turning points in history are not always announced from palace balconies or revealed during grand ceremonies. More often, they begin in quiet rooms, with private conversations, handwritten letters, and moments of reflection known only to those directly involved. If the reports surrounding Balmoral contain even a measure of truth, then the alleged letter from Prince William may have served as exactly that, a deeply personal reminder that the monarchy's future depends not only on tradition but also on trust, understanding, and the willingness to confront difficult realities together.